Greetings and salutations, fellow humans. My name is Jumping Flea, and today I'm talking about some songwriting tips. Before I get started, I'd first like to acknowledge this lovely little logo thing here, made by a good friend of mine. And yeah, it's got my uke, my hat. I'd like to say thank you. So I've written a few songs, and I've released one on my channel. If you haven't seen it, then go check it out. It's called Trust My Life. And I'm currently working on a bunch more. And I've learned a lot about songwriting over the past few years. I've been actually writing songs since I was, I don't know, 10 or something. And those were pretty terrible, and they will never see the light of day, but you know, you gotta start somewhere. And so these things I've learned both just by trial and error, and I've heard from other songwriters. I thought I'd share a few with you. So the first thing is keep a record of everything. I have a journal where I actually write a lot of poetry, and a lot of that gets turned into songs that I work on writing. And so, you know, or I'll come up with a tune in my head, and there have been plenty of times where I think, oh, I'll remember that later, I'll get it, and then I completely forget it. And so always keep a record of, you know, whatever ideas you come up with, whether it be writing them down or recording them in a voice memo or just having some way to remember them. I mean, if you could write it on your hand and then think about it later, but always don't ever think, oh, I'll remember it sometime later, because you most likely won't unless you have a really good memory, which I don't. Number 2, write something you would want to listen to. And it sounds kind of obvious, but if you think about it, like when I first started writing music, I would take the style of song that I heard on the radio or something, and I'd write a song based on whatever formula I found there, and I didn't like it very much. It was, I don't know, I didn't enjoy listening to my own music. But as I have grown as a songwriter, I am writing music that I would listen to personally, and the style of genre, and I've found that if I enjoy listening to something more, I enjoy writing it more. Number 3 is experiment. Like I said, I write a lot of poetry, and at first I was kind of like, oh, you know, I enjoy writing poetry as a hobby, and I enjoy writing music as a hobby, and they don't need to mix. But I discovered the whole world of like slam poetry, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing, or like street poetry, and so I've been experimenting with that and trying to incorporate it into my music, because the way I write poetry isn't the way you would typically hear in a song. But I've tried to mix those two things together, and just experimenting with a different sound and with different styles of music and different ways of doing things, and you'll always be finding something new that you either love and you're like, I'm going to do that forever, or that you'll hate and you'll know never to do again, or at least not in the same way. So yeah, just experiment with all kinds of tunes and styles of writing and everything, and find what works best for you. Number 4, there's no such thing as messing up. And when you're talking about your own music, because if you think about it, failure is you're not following the rules of something that was already put into place. But if you're writing your own music, you make your own rules. I mean, you write whatever you want to write, and so you cannot fail at writing a song, because you're the only person that can say what's right or what's wrong. Tip number 5, mean it. And when I say that, I mean it. Like, going back to the writing something you would want to listen to, if you're writing a song, be sure you are invested in what you're writing, and you care about it, and you are somehow connected with your writing. Because so many people, they write songs and they're like, this is what I think will be popular, and this is what people like, so I'm going to write like this. But you don't have the emotional connection to what you're writing then. So if you're writing music, especially with, you know, lyrical, be into it. I mean, be all about it, and don't just go halfway and say, oh, you know, I kind of mean it, whatever. I'll just put a bunch of whoas and it'll be instant hit. But write something that is meaningful to you. Number 6. This may seem redundant and oversaid and obvious and stuff, but I mean it when I say it. Have fun with it. If you're not enjoying it, then either you're not doing it right or you shouldn't be doing it at all. That's not true to all areas of life. Like, you can't just say, I don't like math, and then just not do it. I wish you could. It'd be so much easier. But with something that you are creating, if you're not enjoying creating it, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Or maybe you need to find another way of doing it. So always enjoy what you're doing. And that doesn't mean it's always going to be easy and you're always going to be smiling about it and be like, oh, this is going great. But if you're not willing to put in time and get the end result and feel good about it, then you need to change something up. So those are my 6 tips of songwriting. And I'm not an expert, but these all seem like good sound advice to me, so hopefully they are for you. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, then be sure to like and comment and leave a subscribe if you want, and let me know in the comments what you thought of my songwriting tips, if they helped you, or if you have any tips that helped me or somebody else. If you would like to see more videos like this, then please do subscribe, and I'd be so happy to get a new subscriber. Also, something you may have noticed, I didn't put up a video last week, and I'm sorry about that. I was out of town for the weekend, and I meant to record something beforehand, but I just didn't get a chance. Really busy that weekend. So, sorry about that. I'll try to do better at being more consistent with videos. Anyway, I will see you guys next week. Goodbye!